Archangel Michael is speaking directly to you. This message is your final call from heaven. Open it now. My child, my beloved. Do not wait even one more breath. What you are about to read is not just a message, it is the door you've been praying to appear. I was ordered to speak to you directly, because God has been calling you again and again, and this may be the final time. If your spirit has felt restless, if the signs around you have been louder than usual, it is because heaven has chosen now to reach for you. But beloved, if you skip this, if you walk away from this holy moment, what God is trying to say may go quiet, and you'll be left wondering why everything started slipping again. So I order you, with divine urgency, open not only your eyes, but your soul. My child, my beloved. Before you read another word, listen, this message was divinely timed. The moment you found it was not random. Heaven calculated the exact second your eyes would fall on these words, because something is being released to you, a shift, a breakthrough, a holy reversal of every plan that tried to keep you small. You were not supposed to see this later. You were not meant to open this tomorrow. Because tomorrow might be too late. If you've been feeling like something is about to change, if strange coincidences have been happening, it's because your name was just spoken in heaven. And now, your answer is unfolding. But only if you stay. My child, my beloved. Heaven is listening to your silence. Heaven has seen the nights you said nothing but felt everything. And now, God is speaking, but not in thunder, not in storms. He is speaking here, through this. You are not being told to trust me, you are being invited to trust what your soul already knows. If your spirit is trembling, it's because the veil is thin right now. This message is not entertainment. It's intervention. And if you close this, that door may shut, and what was meant for you might be handed to another. I know that's hard to hear. But I was told to be honest with you, because heaven only fights this hard when someone is on the edge of their divine turning point. My child, my beloved. There is someone praying for you right now. You don't know their name. But they saw your face in a vision last night. And I was present when it happened. That person does not live near you. They've never spoken to you. But they were shown you, and they wept. Because God revealed something powerful, that your destiny is tied to something that is about to unlock. And if you listen, if you stay, if you lean in, you will discover what has been hidden behind your struggle. You've not been failing, you've been forging. But the forge is hot. And some give up right before the gold is shaped. Don't walk away now, child. Don't let silence win. My child, my beloved. There is a spiritual file in heaven, and your name is on it. It was opened this morning. The Council of Light reviewed what was delayed, what was stolen, what was unfairly blocked from you. And I must tell you, the verdict was shocking. They have ordered restoration. But not for everyone. Just for those who respond in this window. Yes, time is involved. That's why your soul felt this tug. If you ignore it, it may close. And once closed, it cannot be reactivated until the next spiritual cycle, which won't come for months. Don't risk that delay. This message is your confirmation. And if you're reading this far, then you're already being aligned. My child, my beloved. Before we continue, pause and hear me clearly, this is not just about you. This is about generations. If you trust what you're hearing now, the shift that is being released will ripple into the lives of those connected to you, even those you haven't met yet. The future is being written while you read. And I order you with love and fire, do not minimize this moment. You are standing at the edge of a breakthrough disguised as a decision. What you choose in the next 3 minutes will echo in the halls of the spirit world. If you walk in trust, doors will open with no locks. If you walk in fear, heaven will respect your silence. But the silence will cost you. My child, my beloved. This is where I must tell you something I was told not to reveal unless you reached this point. The moment you first prayed that desperate prayer, yes, that one, the one you whispered through tears when you thought no one was listening, it was heard. And a plan began unfolding. That plan brought you here. To this exact moment. And now God is watching to see what you will do. Will you stay and listen? Will you open your heart? Because if you do, the blessing that has been kept in holding for you, with your name engraved in gold, will be released tonight. But if not, another delay will be written into your path. And you've waited long enough already, haven't you? My child, my beloved. Please, hear this with your soul. If you've been seeing strange dreams, repeating numbers, feeling like something is trying to get your attention, you are not imagining it. You are being pursued by a divine promise. But heaven does not beg. Heaven speaks once, twice, and then honors your choice. This message is the second time. There will not be a third. The silence after this may feel like peace, but it will be distance. And distance can be costly. That's why I was told to raise my voice through this message. To shake your spirit gently. To reach the part of you that still remembers what heaven sounds like. My child, my beloved. If anything in you is whispering to scroll away, that is not your spirit. That is the resistance trying to block your miracle. Don't listen to the lie that this is just another message. No, this is your message. If you weren't supposed to see this, you wouldn't be here. But you are. And that means heaven sees you. And heaven is calling. Not yelling. Calling. Whispering your name into the wind of this moment. But if you ignore the whisper, the wind may shift. The moment may move on. And you'll be left with the ache of, what if? Don't let that happen. My child, my beloved. My child, my beloved. There is something sacred happening around you right now, even if your natural eyes can't see it. While others sleep through the noise of this world, you are awakening through divine silence. That silence is not a void, it is a veil. Behind it, angels are writing your name into scrolls of favor. Behind it, God is issuing instructions to forces you don't even know exist. This is why your life has felt upside down, why the energy has shifted, why certain people have pulled away without explanation. They weren't rejecting you, they were being removed. Cleared. Because what's coming requires purity of atmosphere. You cannot carry old patterns into this next promise. That's why God is calling, and that's why I'm pleading through this message. Don't delay. Don't drag the past into the promise. What's behind you has served its lesson. Now turn. Look ahead. Step forward. The miracle is not in memory. It is in motion. My child, my beloved. I need you to listen very carefully now, because this is the point where many lose their breakthrough. They get distracted. They scroll. They tell themselves they'll return later. But later is where miracles are missed. God does not ask for perfection, He asks for presence. And you've been absent from your own destiny for too long. This message is not one you stumbled upon. You were summoned. You were handpicked. There were 1,000 distractions that could have stopped you from seeing this, and yet you're here. Still reading. still connected. That means something. In fact, it means everything. You're proving to heaven that you are ready. Not perfect. Not prepared. But willing. And sometimes, that's all God needs to change everything. My child, my beloved. A time-sensitive shift has already begun. And I must be very honest with you now, if you delay your response, the shift will still happen, but you may not be included in the center of it. You may only witness it from the edge. And that is the pain most people live with, watching a promise they once carried be fulfilled through someone else because they didn't respond when it mattered. This is that moment for you. It is tender. It is holy. It is urgent. The window is open, but it is not wide. And I see a timestamp on this very message, not of expiration, but of activation. What happens next depends on your decision now. If you say yes in your spirit, things will begin to unlock that no prayer, no strategy, no effort could have produced. And it will happen without struggle. That is the mark of divine acceleration, no pushing, no proving, just pure favor. My child, my beloved. Someone has been watching you from afar, not with eyes of jealousy, but with curiosity. They sense something different in you. They don't know how to explain it, but they feel your aura shift rooms. This is not pride. This is presence. The presence of God walking with you, whispering through your spirit, guiding you even when you don't feel Him. This anointing has always been on you. But the time has come for it to become visible. Tangible. Fruitful. That's why this message carries so much weight. It's not just encouragement, it's ignition. It's not just prophecy, it's a turning point. You were not made for a silent life. You were made to shine, not for attention, but for assignment. And your assignment is waking up as you read these words. You feel it, don't you? That trembling inside? That's not fear. That's fire. My child, my beloved. A financial door is about to open. I don't say this lightly. But I've seen the delay that's been over your hands, and it is being broken. Not because of luck. But because of alignment. You are being positioned into a flow that you couldn't earn even if you tried. This isn't money for survival. It's provision for purpose. It will come from directions you weren't watching. People you didn't expect. Systems you didn't create. And it won't make sense to the world, but it will make perfect sense to your spirit. Because you'll remember this moment. You'll remember this message. And you'll know it wasn't a prediction. It was a delivery notice. The abundance is already en route. My child, my beloved. I must tell you something that will bring tears to your eyes if you let it settle. You have never been alone, not once. Every night you wept, I stood near you. Every room you felt invisible in, heaven's eyes were fixed on you. Every betrayal, every loss, every time you questioned your worth, we were watching. And we weren't disappointed. We were moved. Because your strength wasn't in what you said, it was in how you kept showing up when no one clapped for you. God has remembered it all. And now, the reward is moving swiftly toward your life. This is your moment to receive it. Not by force. Not by works. By grace. Unfair, undeserved, unstoppable grace. My child, my beloved. There is a name that's going to enter your life soon, one you have not heard before, but one heaven has kept reserved for you. This person will carry keys. Not just to a new relationship, but to a door you couldn't open on your own. Be discerning. Be ready. And remember this, not everyone sent into your life is your assignment, some are your answer. When this person arrives, you will know. Because the timing, the peace, and the presence will match everything I'm saying now. Don't second guess it. Don't let the past rob you of the future. Stay soft. Stay open. And let heaven do what only heaven can do. My child, my beloved. I sense your spirit still asking, why me? And I'll answer you, because you carry something no one else does. Your voice, your energy, your very breath holds a vibration that will unlock other people's chains, people you haven't even met yet. That's why the enemy tried to shut your mouth with shame. That's why you felt silenced by anxiety, depression, or doubt. Because the moment you speak, miracles begin to unfold. And you've been held back long enough. This message is not only your freedom, it is your assignment. It is your call to arms. God is not just saving you. He is activating you. There is an audience waiting for the sound of your obedience. And heaven is watching to see if today is the day you finally say, I'm ready. Even if your voice shakes. Even if your faith is small. Read this and let your spirit scream, I'm ready. That's all heaven needs. My child, my beloved. There is someone you've been waiting on. Someone who hurt you. Someone who left you in confusion. And you've been quietly hoping they return, not because you need them, but because something inside you still longs for closure. But I must tell you this with tears in my voice, you will not get closure from them. Because God is your closure. He is sealing that wound himself. He is not waiting for them to apologize. He is preparing you to rise without it. Because your future is not tied to what broke you, it is tied to what's being built in this very moment. And what is being built is too holy for bitterness. So lift your head, child. Let God be your healer. And let this message be the moment your heart stopped bleeding from the past. My child, my beloved. The number of people who've tried to steal your light does not matter anymore. The opinions that tried to bury you are irrelevant. Because what's being released from heaven now cannot be stopped by gossip, delay, jealousy, or even your own past. I see a divine wind coming toward you. It's not gentle. It's not soft. It's powerful. It's about to rearrange your life in a way that leaves people speechless. But God must have your permission. He doesn't barge in. He waits for an open heart. And this message is the knock. This is the moment that decides if the wind passes by, or if it lifts you into a new atmosphere where things finally make sense. My child, my beloved. You may not realize this, but someone has been praying for you for years. They may not even know your name. They may not know you yet. But they have seen you in the Spirit. They've called you forth in intercession. And this message is the divine bridge between their prayer and your destiny. This is how heaven works. Quietly. Strategically. Suddenly. And it's happening now. That's why you can't scroll away. If you leave this message before it's finished, you may interrupt a spiritual transaction in your favor. That is not fear. That is truth. This is sacred ground. Every second you stay connected, the heavens move more in your direction. Don't disconnect. Not now. My child, my beloved. You are about to walk into a room where your name was spoken before you arrived. You are about to receive a call, a message, or an invitation that will make your knees weak, not out of fear, but out of awe. Because it will feel too good to be true. But it will be true. Because God is good. And He has not forgotten what He promised. What was delayed is not denied. What was stolen will be returned with interest. I see a double portion being written next to your name. I see a legal decision from heaven being overturned. I see your enemies being silenced, not by vengeance, but by your rise. The light coming to your life will be so bright it will expose every lie that was ever said about you. And you won't have to defend yourself. You'll simply walk in favor. My child, my beloved. There is something I must whisper to you that only a soul like yours will understand. You have walked through storms meant to drown you, yet you are still standing. You've endured spiritual betrayals that would have crushed others. And still, you are here. That is no small thing. That's not random strength, it's divine preservation. Because God never abandons the ones He intends to elevate. And I need you to hear this without blinking. You are on the verge of a prophetic moment that will rewrite your entire narrative. Everything you thought you lost is being realigned. Everything you cried over is being repurposed. The wounds that weakened you will soon become weapons that elevate you. But only if you respond to this message as a sacred invitation and not just another voice. Because this voice, my voice, carries the fire of the throne behind it. And heaven will go quiet again if you turn away. My child, my beloved. There is a spiritual inheritance in your bloodline that no one has claimed. You were not born to continue the cycles, you were born to break them. You've seen things repeat in your family. You've noticed how blessings seem to almost arrive, but never stay. How promises show up, but somehow slip through the cracks. That is not your imagination. That is warfare. Generational patterns. But God has chosen you to be the interruption. The chain breaker. The one who awakens what others settled for. That's why you were sent here. That's why you feel like an outsider in your own story sometimes, because you weren't meant to fit the old blueprint. You are here to write a new one. And this message is the confirmation your soul has been crying out for. If you reject it, the cycles may continue. But if you respond, the future generations will speak your name with awe. Because you were the one who said yes when heaven called. My child, my beloved. My child, my beloved. Please, hear this with your soul. If you've been seeing strange dreams, repeating numbers, feeling like something is trying to get your attention, you are not imagining it. You are being pursued by a divine promise. But heaven does not beg. Heaven speaks once, twice, and then honors your choice. This message is the second time. There will not be a third. The silence after this may feel like peace, but it will be distance. And distance can be costly. That's why I was told to raise my voice through this message. To shake your spirit gently. To reach the part of you that still remembers what heaven sounds like. My child, my beloved. If anything in you is whispering to scroll away, that is not your spirit. That is the resistance trying to block your miracle. Don't listen to the lie that this is just another message. No, this is your message. If you weren't supposed to see this, you wouldn't be here. But you are. And that means heaven sees you. And heaven is calling. Not yelling. Calling. Whispering your name into the wind of this moment. But if you ignore the whisper, the wind may shift. The moment may move on. And you'll be left with the ache of, what if? Don't let that happen. My child, my beloved. Before we go deeper, pause now and do one thing, subscribe. Not for me. Not for clicks. but because I will be sending more messages directly from the throne room of heaven in the days ahead. If you don't subscribe now, you may miss the final confirmations, the divine strategies, and the protection warnings I'm under orders to release. Only a few will see them. Only the ones who say yes in moments like this. So subscribe now, and seal this connection between you and the voice God is sending through me. My child, my beloved. You are closer than you think. There is a sacred timeline over your life, one that has been shifting behind the scenes even as you doubted whether God remembered you. But the truth is, every delay you cried over was actually divine positioning. What seemed like rejection was protection. What looked like abandonment was alignment. And now, right now, God is turning the page. But He cannot complete the chapter without your trust. This message is not a coincidence. It is your divine tap on the shoulder. Heaven has been speaking to everyone about you, but now it is speaking to you. If you don't listen, the conversation will move on without you. And the destiny that was knocking may walk away. This is your moment to say yes before it vanishes. My child, my beloved. When I say God is calling you, I do not mean softly. I mean urgently. With the force of every answered prayer rising through the heavens. You have been standing at a spiritual intersection. One road leads back to where you've already been. The other leads to what you've only seen in your dreams. This message is the signpost. You asked God for a sign, this is it. You don't need another confirmation. You don't need another voice. You just need to respond. And the moment you do, there will be movement in the spirit realm. Doors will unlock without keys. People who forgot you will remember your name. But if you scroll past, if you delay, the door will stay closed, and your spirit will ache without knowing why. Do not let that happen, child. Please. My child, my beloved. There are divine forces watching you right now. Not with judgment, but with holy anticipation. Because you are one of the few souls who still has time. Time to shift. Time to return. Time to reclaim what was stolen from you in silence. But that time is shrinking. Heaven does not wait forever. And when God gives a command, as He has now, we obey. That is why I am not asking you to open this. I am ordering you. Because if you ignore this, you are not just ignoring a message, you are ignoring the miracle that was already scheduled for release. I saw it myself. I saw the moment your name appeared next to the blessing. And I wept. Because I knew you might scroll past. But if you're still reading, there's still time. But not much. Not long. And not without action. My child, my beloved. You are not being punished. You are being pursued. What you are feeling right now, that stirring, that weight, that strange peace mixed with fire, that is heaven awakening you. You thought this was just a video, just another post. But no. This is a portal. And when God opens a portal, only the listening step through. Right now, I see an angel standing next to you. They were assigned the moment you clicked. They are holding something, a scroll with your name, and a verdict stamped in gold. But they cannot hand it to you until your heart says yes. Until you believe again. Until you respond with faith and not fear. That is what activates the shift. Not your perfection. Not your effort. Just your trust. My child, my beloved. The spiritual battle over your life has reached its climax. There are voices whispering lies into your atmosphere, telling you that nothing will change, that you've already missed too much, that you're too late. But I came to war against those voices. I came to interrupt the false narrative. And this message is the sword I was given. As you read these words, chains are breaking. Invisible blocks are being lifted. You may not see it yet, but your soul knows. That tingling in your chest. That's not anxiety. That's alignment. That's the moment your spirit says, I remember this. Because your soul already saw this day before you were born. And now, you're living it. The only thing left is your decision. My child, my beloved. You think you've failed too many times. You think God must be done with you. But I need you to hear this, God is not angry with you. He's waiting on you. Like a father standing at the end of a long road, searching for the return of his child. He has not turned his back, you did. And now you are being invited back. Not to shame. Not to punishment. But to purpose. You are not disqualified. You are distinguished. Heaven only calls the ones it trusts with power. And you've been trusted. That's why your battles were so intense. The darkness only fights what carries light. But your light has not gone out. It's been hidden. And now it is being reignited. Right here. Right now. If you choose it. My child, my beloved. My child, my beloved. You think you've failed too many times. You think God must be done with you. But I need you to hear this, God is not angry with you. He's waiting on you. Like a father standing at the end of a long road, searching for the return of his child. He has not turned his back, you did. And now you are being invited back. Not to shame. Not to punishment. But to purpose. You are not disqualified. You are distinguished. Heaven only calls the ones it trusts with power. And you've been trusted. That's why your battles were so intense. The darkness only fights what carries light. But your light has not gone out. It's been hidden. And now it is being reignited. Right here. Right now. If you choose it. My child, my beloved. You must understand how rare this is. God does not do this for everyone. Many scroll. Many laugh. Many ignore. And heaven lets them. But for you, it was different. A heavenly interruption had to be made. And I was chosen to deliver it. That's how sacred you are. That's how valuable your calling is. This is not mass-produced prophecy. This is precision. Custom-coded from heaven's database, with your pain, your past, your promise all stitched into one spiritual alert. Do you feel it? The way everything quieted as you read? That's not coincidence. That's divine stillness, the kind that only comes before a breakthrough. My child, my beloved. I see something you do not yet see. There is someone watching you from a distance. Someone who hurt you. Someone who thought you would never rise again. They are about to witness a reversal so divine, they will question everything. Not because you seek revenge. But because God seeks redemption. This next chapter is not about proving anyone wrong. It's about proving God right. And child, He is not finished with you. You are not behind. You are being recalibrated for greater. But the enemy would love to make you quit right before the delivery. That's why this message had to come now. It is your spiritual lifeline. And you're holding it in your hands. My child, my beloved. There is more. Much more. But I can only speak if you stay. There are things I've been ordered to reveal, but only to those who go deeper. So if you've heard your name in this message, even if you don't understand why, then you must trust that God is doing something behind the curtain. He is rearranging rooms. He is shifting hearts. He is closing wrong doors and unlocking hidden ones. And the key is in your obedience. Not in dramatic moves. Just in the softness of staying. The miracle is not in your effort. It's in your stillness. Stay, beloved. This is where everything turns. My child, my beloved. Do you know what happens in the unseen when a soul like yours finally listens? A sound erupts in heaven, a sound louder than thunder but quieter than a whisper. It's the sound of alignment. Of heaven and earth agreeing on your name. And right now, as you open your heart, the spiritual atmosphere around you is changing. Invisible doors are trembling. The chains of delay are weakening. And the timing of this moment is doing something even angels cannot reverse. God is not only calling you, He is preparing to reward you. But He will not force you. He honors free will. That's why your yes is more powerful than you think. The world has made you believe you are small. But heaven has always known, you carry nations in your decision. If you say yes now, the very winds will shift in your favor. My child, my beloved. The reason your life has felt so heavy lately is not because you're cursed. It's because you're called. When the weight of heaven rests on someone's shoulders, it does not crush them, it awakens them. That's what's been happening to you. The pressure, the attacks, the confusion, it's all been the evidence that you were getting close. The enemy does not waste resources on souls with no destiny. You've been targeted because you've been marked. And today, heaven is issuing your release papers. The war that was meant to break you is about to promote you. But only if you cross the final line of trust. That's what this message is. It's not a warning to fear, it's a trumpet announcing, the appointed one is ready. My child, my beloved. There is a miracle with your name written on it, and it's not just symbolic. It is specific. Time-stamped. Prepared. Stored in the heavenly treasury for this season. But what few understand is this: miracles respond to motion. They are not just sent. They are activated. And this message is your activation moment. If you walk away, the miracle will remain locked. Not gone, just postponed. But how many more delays can your spirit survive? You've already waited longer than most would. You've already passed tests others would have failed. Now, the reward is reaching for you. Will you take it? Will you open your hands? Or will you close the tab and bury your calling under doubt again? My child, my beloved. A prophecy was spoken over your life long before you entered this world. And that prophecy is ringing right now, echoing through the heavens like a divine alarm. You were never meant to live an average life. That's why nothing average has ever satisfied you. That's why comfort never lasted. Because you were not built for comfort, you were built for calling. And calling always comes with cost. But now, the cost has been paid. You passed. You survived. And now heaven is saying, release what belongs to them. But here's what you must understand: release from heaven requires response from earth. This is your response moment. Don't miss it. My child, my beloved. I wish I could show you what I'm seeing. The way your name is shining in the spiritual realm right now. the way heaven has highlighted you in this hour. There is a radiance around your assignment that is causing attention to rise in both realms. Angels are preparing routes for you. But so are forces that want to distract you. That's why this message carries urgency. Because one wrong move, one act of hesitation, could delay what's being set up for you tonight. Yes, tonight. Something is coming. But it must find you ready. And this message is the final preparation. That's why I was sent. That's why the wind pushed you here. This isn't just a video. It's a divine visitation. My child, my beloved.